So ayan, nandito tayo ngayon sa NAIA Terminal 3 and in a few minutes, mag-board na tayo going to Bacolod. Since we are going to be having our EMDR1 training under the Traumatology Institute of the Philippines. So, samahan niyo ako for my 2 days on-site EMDR1 training. We're not sure no, kung mapapayagan tayo i-vlog yung mismong process kung paano ba ginagawa yung EMDR. But sana masamahan niyo ako all throughout our Bacolod journey. Yes. Ito po. So already 7:30, kakarating lang namin dito sa hotel. Medyo nagpapahinga-hinga lang muna and then I'm gonna be reading materials lang. So, from today, March 4 hanggang March 7, nandito tayo sa Bacolod with regards to our EMDR1 training on-site under the Traumatology Institute of the Philippines. But technically, yung EMDR training natin would be from tomorrow lang, March 5 hanggang March 6. Bali, whole day siya, no? From 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. talaga siya. So, medyo mabigat kasi 10 lang kami doon or I think 15 lang kami. So, if ever may matriggered, at least ma-attendan kami agad. So, bakit nga ba tayo may matitrigger? Usually kasi in EMDR, we're remembering all the details of the trauma. And as therapists, we wanted to heal first from those trauma before we let other people heal themselves, no? So, baka kami mismo may maalala kaming trauma na hindi namin alam na ganun pala siya ka-impactful. So, at least mapaprocess natin siya ng maayos with the right care and right process with the help of the tips. So, anyway, bali 2 days lang yung training but sobrang extensive nun. Hopefully, may energy pa ako tomorrow at night since hindi tayo na-allow no, mag-vlog. But rest assured na kwentuhan ko kayo kung ano nangyari sa first day ng EMDR1 natin tomorrow. So, breakfast muna tayo. Kakagising ko lang. Time check, it's already 7 a.m. So, kain muna tayo before tayo mag-training para energize tayo. And I'll see you guys later. Balitaan ko kayo after training kung kamusta yung first day of EMDR1 natin. Dito na tayo. Pero it feels like it's a church, parang monastery. Akala ko pa kanina naliligaw ako kasi sa church ako binaba, pero yung pala may parang monastery area siya. So dun siya sa hall gaganapin. But at least we get to pray muna in the church, di ba, before we start. And then, nagulat pa ako kanina na may kakilala ko from RGO Batch 2024 sa RSI. So, nabanggit niya rin sa akin na Venice will be here. Venice is a very good friend of mine, no? Kasama ko siya sa Airbnb for review noong 2024. So, sabay kami umiiyak noon for preparation ng board. So, mamaya, pakita kasi nga sa Venice. And then, pakita din natin yung venue once na ready na. Okay. Here are our kids. So, ayan, nakauwi na tayo from the EMDR training day 1. At actually, habang nasa biyahe, no, medyo nagmumuni-muni ako. Kasi medyo information overload kanina, honestly. To the point na ang sarap aralin, i-take in lahat ng information. Because these are new ways of dealing with clients who are anxious, na merong may mga painful events because for the past 1.5 years, more likely, CBT and DBT talaga yung pinapractice ko. Some, I'm using Gestalt, but depende siya sa needs ng client. Pero, just learning these new skills is sobrang fulfilling, no, to know, lalo na nung may practice na, we're doing the bilateral eye movement, no, and then yung tapping. So, manonotice mo kung gaano magiging ka-distressful talaga yung event, and kung gaano ka-grounded pa rin in the reality while you're doing the tapping. So kaya ginagawa yung eye movement, no? We are actually mimicking kasi yung sa REM or REM natin sa sleep cycle. And kaya siya bilateral because we're activating both parts of your brain, no? In order to remember the painful events and then somehow reprocessing it again, but now in a more parang mas controlled na setup, na the perpetrator is no longer in front of you, but the therapist is here to listen sa lahat ng nangyayari. Ang nag-caught lang ng interest ko kanina is yung mga victims ng hindi ko muna sasabihin yung case, no? But nung pagdating niya sa therapy is ang nakikita niya lang whenever they do the EMDR is purple light. As in purple light lang, imagine, paano kayo mag-start kung yun lang yung sinasabi na nakikita niya. And then it turns out, after reprocessing, no, sa second session daw, parang after the purple light, ang next niya na nakita is wala na siyang bottom. No? So, babae yung clients. And then, the third session naman for the EMDR is naging vivid na yung face ng perpetrator. And then, sa fourth session, nag-start ng mailabas yung galit, no? Which is all throughout the year, simula na nangyari yon, is she was always numb and parang never siyang naging close na in terms of proximity sa mga tao. Kahit konting distance lang, ayaw niya pag lalaki kasi nga may ganun na history. And then it turns out, kaya pala purple light lang yung naaalala niya when it comes to the painful event. Because that was the only view na meron siya nung may ginagawa sa kanya yung pinsan niya. So, in therapy, no, we're not seeing anger kasi as negative. But para sa amin, anger could be parang a good manifestation na at least napaprocess niya na yung emotions. Before kasi, no, nung wala pa akong ganitong trainings or kahit sa ibang trainings ko, I thought anger was just negative. Okay, galit yung client, galit siya, ganon. Ayan, what's underneath the galit? But natutunan ko na pag nagagalit na yung client mo, ibig sabihin we're hitting the right spot because na ilalabas niya na yung galit. Napaprocess niya na yung nangyari, kaya siya nagagalit. And then parang going back doon sa client na nakakita ng purple light, after nung session na nagalit siya, umiyak na siya. Kasi doon niya na na-process na, bakit? Ba't kailangan mangyari lahat yun? And then, sobrang ganda ng approach kanina cause nandun sa, medyo information overload lang kasi nandun na lahat yung backbone, how to do EMDR. Pero, we're just treating the small trauma. So, kanina, before umalis, kinlarify ko what does a small T in trauma, yung difference niya with stress. Sabi ko, same lang po ba yung small T and stress? Kasi, the examples that I'm hearing since this morning are more on likely stress. And then, somehow, yes daw. Pero kasi when it comes to small T, there are painful emotions associated with it. Say, for example, pwedeng mag-undergo ng small T is yung sasakay ka ng bus, tapos punong-puno yung bus. So, parang, okay, stressful yun, no? Pero, may painful memory kasi all throughout the biyahe, nakatayo ka lang and siksikan. Tapos parang from there, you could understand na because of that event, the negative cognitions that relates with that is you feel powerless. You feel that things are outside of your control. And then you partner it with the positive cognition. And then from there, you process. Sobrang amazing. Like, ganun. medyo mga pagdating ng 4, medyo, alam mo yun, gumagano na yung utak ko. Because I really want to take everything na, shit, kailangan makapture ng utak ko yung lahat ng sinasabi. As much as I can, I'm really taking notes. Kaya kung makikita niyo yung iPad ko, sobrang Tagalog na yung notes ko. Kasi gusto ko talaga ma-remember lahat detail by detail. Kung pwede lang mag-record ng voice, ginawa ko na talaga. Pero, sobrang amazing lang. And at the same time, excited ako to see kung paano ginagamit yung mga tools tomorrow. Kasi tomorrow, ang homework namin for tonight is to look for 5 small T's that we will be processing tomorrow with our partners. Oo nga pala guys, yung naging partner ko today sa processing ng EMDR, president lang naman siya ng PAP before. Like, president. Alam mo yun, kilala siya nung facilitators. Para ako, hello po, ganyan. Tapos parang nag-work siya sa DLS. So, kung makita niya po to, hi Sir Nino. Sobrang bait na partner sa EMDR. And, sobrang helpful pag may mga namimiss akong notes. It was trying to explain it to me and stuff. And very interesting nung ginagamit niya na approach. But anyway, going back. So bukas, more on practice na kami nung things that we discussed today. So ngayon, diniscuss namin from phase 1 to phase 4 hanggang desensitization. So sa desensitization yung pinakamahirap na process. Kasi sa desensitization, doon nyo na inaalala ulit yung painful memory and you're partnering it with something positive using the bilateral stimulation. And then, we also learned the container method na parang kung wala kang enough time, because usually ganun yung nangyayari when things are really painful for them to process, you have to use the container method na parang they are going to visualize na nilalagay nila yung pain from a container and then you partner it with something positive. Basta may process siya. And then, pwede nyo siyang balikan. Like, imagine nilagay nyo sa loob ng container yung lahat ng painful events na pwede nating balikan anytime that we want. 'Di ba? And pwede mo ring i-close anytime that you want. 'Di ba? Just imagine may ganun tayong power. And it will be partnered with, of course, yung sense mo of reality. And then, napaprocess mo lahat ng hindi mo napag-uusapan because things are really, really painful for you. So, yun lang naman for today. I'm so happy lang na nakita ko din si Venice. Because Venice is matuturing ko na part siya of becoming who I am as a psychologist. Kasi 1 week kaming nagsama sa Airbnb before the board exam. So, sobrang naging close kami, I would say. It's been a year na hindi kami nagkita. But, ang sarap mag-connect. Kasi alam mo yun, sa ganitong trainings ba, kasi nauna lang siya sa akin sa EMDR 1, but sabay kaming magsusupervision this year. So, yun nga, nare-remind kami na we're new to this profession and we wanted to advance our skills. Na it's not always this approach and that approach, but you can also use this type of approach. Specifically na medyo in demand siya sa Philippines. So, ayun lang naman, siguro kwentuhan ko kayo tomorrow kung kamusta ipaprocess yung 5 small T ko at magpaprocess ako ng small T nung client ko or ng partner ko. So, magmi-mix-mix daw ng partner tomorrow for desensitization. Yung partner ko pa rin, which is si Sir Nino, yung president ng PAP. And then after nun, magmi-mix-mix to continue processing EMDR. And then, ayun. So, tingnan natin kung kakayanin natin ma-apply lahat tomorrow. I'll scan through siguro yung materials kanina so that yung retention is there. And then, mag-energize na tayo. Sabi nga ni Ms. Charlene, kung kaya, after ng 2 days training is self-care ka talaga buong weekends. Kasi sobrang bigat talaga niya. And yung mga examples kanina, parang naiiyak na ako kasi ang bigat nung mga trauma. And then, napaprocess nyo sa EMDR. Sobrang amazing ng EMDR. I hope marami pang mag-pursue neto. sa future, pag naging psychologist na rin kayo, kasi hindi siya pwede pag hindi pa kayo licensed, kwentahan ko na lang kayo ulit for the EMDR 1, day 2, tomorrow. So, right now, break lang natin for our day 2. Before break, nag-conduct na kami ng parang demo and trial ng desensitization. Medyo matika na tayong ma-trigger, but proof yun na nag-work yung EMDR1 because I was able to contain my emotions with the tapping or the bilateral stimulation. So, super okay. And I'm excited na for the next 3 parts na gagawin natin until closure or containment method of EMDR. So, update ko kayo after kung kumusta ako or matitrigger ba ako or kung ano man. Okay? Sige. So, we are now done sa lunch natin and nakapag-run through na tayo from phase 2 to closure ng EMDR. So, medyo nagagamay na natin. And I'm happy na nag-good job tayo. So, I'm very happy about it. We're looking forward na ma-practice pa yun today kasi mayroon pa kaming half day, no? So, yeah. So far, okay naman ako. Wala naman na-trigger and I feel very, very light due to the EMDR. So, yun lang. Pasok na ba tayo at mainit? So, ayan. We're now here in the hotel. So, actually, mga 12 minutes away lang naman. So, super lapit lang, no? Nahirapan lang talaga ako mag-book ng Grab kasi medyo traffic. But, i-wrap up ko lang yung nangyari for day 2 ng EMDR1 training natin. And at the same time, yung full na reflection ko siguro after taking the seminar. So, for the day 2, more on practicum siya, no? More on practice siya. So, you get to partner with different persons from time to time. And then you practice different small traumas. So, same process. And I think, sobrang helpful nung ganong way because the more that you practice, the more that you learn how to do it right. And especially dun sa last na naka-pair ko because kulang ng isa sa group namin. So, I need to be paired sa isang facilitator nung White Coat Clinic. So, hi, kay Steph. Thank you for assisting me on how to do it right because mas natutunan ko yung kung ano yung tamang way because they already completed yung EMDR1 training last year in October. So, habang patagal ng patagal, habang padami ng padami yung napaprocess ko na small T, mas nafa-familiarize ako on the process kung paano ba ginagawa yung EMDR from phase 1, which is establishing yung rapport, no? Intake mo with the client, to phase 2, to phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, hanggang mag-closure, no? And especially yung re-evaluation or yung follow-up sessions nyo. So, nakakatuwa kasi hindi siya nag-stop with closure of the session. Meron din tinuro sa amin kanina, paano pag follow-up session nyo na ng client, paano mo sisimulan, and then paano mo ulit bubuksan yung mga trauma na naset aside nyo because kulang na yung time. So, kanina tinanong ako mismo nung head facilitator, no, what did I learn given na I've been practicing a different approach before. So, sa mga hindi nakakaalam, I've been practicing CBT and DBT. Mainly because doon pa lang ako may training. And I feel like kaya talaga siyang matutunan. However, this year kasi I promised myself na I want to step outside of my comfort zone in terms of counseling and psychotherapy. And when we establish a specific goal, diba, we want to make it very realistic. So, what could be something na kaya kong i-achieve within this year, especially that I am focusing in the clinical setup now. having my own private practice. So sabi ko, what if I try trauma? Trauma because sobrang hands up talaga ako pag trauma na yung case. Kasi nakakatakot eh. What if hindi mo kayang i-close yung kaya mong buksan? What if biglang mag-panic attack yung client mo when you're talking about big trauma? Diba? What if pati ako mag-freeze straight and magkaroon ng vicarious trauma and then I stop practicing? Diba? So, yun yung naging way and naging thought process ko nung nag-book na ako for level 1 of parang practice under the Green Cross na affiliated siya sa USA. So, sa mga hindi nakakaalam, yung Traumatology Institute of the Philippines kasi, sila yung training partner here sa Philippines ng Green Cross Traumatology Institute sa USA, no, and Canada. So, training partner lang sila, but the one who certifies kasi if you really meet the requirements are GCAT pa rin, or the Green Cross. So, international pa rin siya. And yun yung maganda because you get to be certified internationally, 'di ba? Hindi lang sa dahil maganda siyang pakinggan, but at least meron kang approach na pwede mong i-practice here na tested and proven in different parts of the world na nag-work best for trauma. So, meron kasi siyang level 1, which is the Compassion Fatigue Educator. Level 2, Compassion Fatigue Practitioner. Level 3 is Disaster Trauma or Field Traumatologist. Level 4 is what I am completing right now. So, I think I'll do a separate vlogs sa journey ko din and completing this stuff kasi medyo mahaba yon. You have their supervisions, like you're gonna be needing to complete full psychotraumatology report. So it's like psychological report siya, no, na focus on trauma. So your client should be having a complex trauma or PTSD, no. So I'm still looking for clients na pwede kong offeran ng free services, no. Na pwede kong ma-assess. On top of that, meron pang 10 trauma clients na kailangan mong gawan ng evaluation and report. And then, this EMDR1, meron kaming target na at least 20 clients na na-practice namin yung protocol ng EMDR1. So, I know baka sabihin nyo, paano yan? EMDR1 pa lang naman. So, again, we're treating we're treating small trauma in EMDR1. So, technically, small trauma are some events in your life na, trigger a lot of things. Some of them could lead to phobia. So, say for example, yung sudden stress or frustration sa traffic, nakagit ka bigla ng aso, bullying, it could lead to a small trauma, no? So, compared with big trauma, usually in EMDR1, na-work out agad siya. So, dun mo malalaman. And madalas, may mga small T na nagli-lead to bigger trauma. So, ang main na sinabi sa amin is when you're dealing with small traumas, do not talk about small trauma related to family. Kasi it could branch out in a bigger trauma that you didn't know na may bigger trauma that comes with it, no? So, meron na tayong Certificate of Participation. Thank you to White Coat Psychological Clinic. Kasi sila yung, balik clinic nila yung nakipag-tie up sa Green Cross and TIPS, or Traumatology Institute of the Philippines, no? For the training. However, if you can notice, that's just a certificate of participation, but not yet the certificate na you've attended and complied to all the requirements. I will just be given a certificate of EMDR pag natapos ko na yung EMDR 2 at pag na-complete ko na yung EMDR 20 patients na mapapractice ko report, no? So, titingnan natin kung kakayanin natin ma-accomplish yung 10 clients na ipapractice ko yung EMDR1 protocol. Kasi yun yung main requirement before kayo pwedeng umattend ng EMDR2. In EMDR2, those are big traumas that we're talking about. Like, they could be triggered. And of course, during the training, ang pwede lang nilang, or kung ano lang yung big trauma that they're comfortable to share, yun lang yung pwedeng i-process. And one lang. Unlike sa small trauma, kailangan kanina 4 small trauma yung pinrocess namin. With EMDR2, 1 big trauma. No? So, medyo mabigat yun kasi of course, it could lead to a lot of things at baka mahirap yung desensitization niya. When you say desensitization, ito na yung part that you're processing what happened in the trauma. So, you're going to see all the details that comes with it. So, I'll discuss siguro ano yung reflections ko with the whole EMDR training. So, dinner muna ako ngayon and balikan ko kayo. Pero, mga ganito talaga yung pinunta ko dito eh. Favorite ko! Zanzibar! Anyway, empake naman tayo ngayon. Then bukas, back to Manila na tayo. Whew! Alam ko sobrang tagal ng overdue itong vlog na to. Sa TikTok live ko, ilang beses ko nang pinapromise na mag-upload na ako, pero sobrang dami lang talagang need attendan and ang daming nangyari for the past weeks after yung EMDR natin sa Bacolod. So, pagka-uwi ko, nag-start na ako mag-gather ng clients na ikikater natin for the trauma case reports. And then sa psychotraumatology full report. Part kasi nung certification of becoming a clinical traumatologist is yung EMDR na ginawa natin sa Bacolod. So, para mapa-certify kami, we have 3 months to complete yung documents, no? So, medyo naging busy tayo gathering that since natapos lang just last Saturday yung training naman natin for treating and assessment of PTSD. So at least we will start na yung process this whole coming week. And then on top of what happened doon, na-feature nga pala tayo ulit sa Kada Umaga. This time, I talk about being the bunso and the family as the last resort. Bukod sa na-feature ulit tayo sa Kada Umaga, ma-feature tayo ulit sa Cosmopolitan PH. So I think by the time na makita nyo tong video, hopefully out na yung article about dopamine, no? Paano nga ba ma-reset yung dopamine natin because everything is parang ang iksi na ng attention span ng lahat ng tao. So if you want to read that, I think around by the end of this week, marirelease na siya sa Cosmopolitan PH. Nagkaroon din tayo ng trainings and talk, no, with Luna Psych training services. So, sa mga nag-attend, hello. Ang daming nangyari for those weeks na hindi ako nakapag-vlog and upload. So, very busy ako talaga now sa pag-gather and pag-complete nung mga documents, papers. I forgot to mention, sa EMDR pala, after nung Bacolod, I have to complete 20 clients na na-practice ko yung EMDR. And we also have a report for that. So imagine you have report writing, case report writing, and you need to really practice EMDR1. So kaya medyo recently, medyo all over the place yung isip ko because I have a lot of deadlines, and then of course I've been actively doing my practice. So kailangan nating ma-attendan lahat yon. So, I think yun lang naman yung updates for the past weeks na hindi kami nakapag-upload. I'm sorry ulit. But ito yung mga reasons, medyo marami tayong deadlines. Pero isasama ko kayo all throughout the process until we get that certification. Nalimutan ko i-end yung video. Very not used to sa ganitong vlogging era ko. So, I'll see you guys soon. I-update ko kayo sa EMDR journey natin for the next 3 months. Comment down kayo below sa mga contents na gusto nyong gawan natin ng content. No? And then, babasahin natin yan isa-isa, of course. I'll make sure to upload kahit na magiging very busy yung next 3 months. Para din sa mga aspiring psychologist and gusto din mag-practice as a clinical traumatologist, meron kayong guides when kayo naman yung nag-pursue. Yun lang. I'll see you next vlog.